Okay, so this thing says it's streaming, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, good. That's how I want to start. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Cosplay Bites, the show about cosplay conventions and all the nerdy bits and bytes. I'm happy to be back after not having anything for you all last month, which literally just ended yesterday because we got stuck with a leap year. But for today's episode, I have the ever so talented, oh, this is gonna be good. Chamomiletay, is that how you do it? Say it?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, I got it right. You're welcome. Yeah, thanks for coming on and wanting to do this with me. So, the bulk of the episode is gonna be all about Katsucon, which happened several weeks ago. You were in attendance for all of the days?
Yes, I think this is the first year I end up going. Technically day 0, Thursday. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already since Katsucon.
Yeah. Okay. But before we do that, I figured I could just give you the floor and just give like a brief like cosplay origin story, so to speak.
Sure. So my name is Taylor. I go by Chamomiletay on Twitter and Instagram. I've been cosplaying for about maybe 7 years, but I took a bit of a hiatus for a couple of years back in 2019, and then I'm just now breaking back into the scene. So Katsucon was my first convention back in 5 years, which feels crazy to say. And I've been just doing some location stuff off and on in between now and then. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. I have still pretty tired from Katsu, not gonna lie, but I feel more or less more motivated to work on stuff. Yeah, just happy to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I guess we should get into it because I mean, I've got just a couple of things written down, notes that I have. Because there are definitely some cosplays of yours that you've made in the past, but also debuted at Katsucon that I wanted to talk about with you because they're just absolutely incredible. Like you just look stunning in them. So, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so like I haven't been to Katsucon in like, oh god, when was the last one I went to? 2018.
I think that was. Oh, did we run into each other in 2018? That was the first year I went, and then the last one was 2019.
No, we've never met in person. I'm trying to. I think it was. I did 2017 and then 2018, and then I believe that was the last time I went.
A lot has definitely changed since then, especially in terms of crowd control. But I guess that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. I don't want to. I've been told that like between that and Magfest is a much better con.
Mm-hmm.
It's more fun. So, never been to that one. All I know is What?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I haven't been either, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. All I know is I just have PAX East coming up in a couple of weeks. So that's my only convention this year. But, yeah, so did you end up cosplaying all of the days that you were at Katsucon this year?
I did. I think I brought about 3 cosplays. One of them I had rushed within 2 to 3 weeks, so it held up for the con, but I'll need to read through that one. But I was surprised I got myself to cosplay Thursday evening. Did Maid Zelda for a bit.
Okay, yeah. How did that cosplay feel or like wear around? Like, was it comfortable to wear?
Yeah, it was probably one of my most comfortable cosplays to date. I had some qualms with the wig I had for the costume, just because it ended up being shorter than I intended. But it was a nice chill cosplay to start con weekend with, so no complaints there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm imagining with how the con is run now, you ended up getting a badge,
Mhm.
so you can't. I get well because people can't really lobby con it anymore,
I did hear, yeah. So I
which is
guess
essentially how
how
I
much?
did it. The 2 years I went, I just stayed in a hotel with a bunch of friends, and I just hung out in the lobby of the Gaylord every single
Yeah, they
day.
were. I know they were really enforcing, not necessarily like in the dealers room in the artist alley. They were really enforcing the badges, but not so much on the con floor. But they did mail badges this year, which was, I'm not sure if they did that last year, but that was a big change from the last time I went.
Yeah. Um. So what did you end up? I mean, aside from doing photo shoots and wearing your cosplays, like did you end up walking around the dealer's hall, artist alley, and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I feel like those are some of the big highlights for me when I go to conventions. And then the biggest thing was just connecting with friends I haven't seen in a long time. So I usually don't get to see them unless it's at a convention. So it was nice being able to see some of them and meeting some longtime mutuals for the first time. Also,
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun. Um, I'm actually going to be doing that at PAX East. Like I found out that someone I've been friends with online for like 5+ years, she's going to be at the booth with the company that she now works for
oh nice,
as their marketing director. So we're finally gonna meet up for the first time, and I'm like so insanely excited about it.
that's awesome. I'm like on the fence about maybe getting a Friday pass for PAX, but if not, I probably won't be doing a con until September. But PAX is a good con.
Oh yeah, are you Well, I imagine you're on the East Coast. If you were able to do Catskill, were you like, are you like in the Boston area?
Just outside of it, but I work in Boston also too. So if I actually I don't, I'm not in office on Fridays, but I could probably just scoot over after work on Friday, and so I have a few other friends that are going too. So it'd be fun to come and swing by, say hi to people.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. If you end up coming on Friday, I'd love to actually meet up with you and like hang out for a little bit. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about it, but I might be able to get time off for work to go. But I can give you the deets shortly if I end up snagging a ticket.
Yeah. Um.
I wonder if they're still in stock. Um, yeah, I'll definitely let you know if that's something I end up doing.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I'm going all 4 days, and I'm really trying to plan things out a bit more reasonable and like not like overbook a bunch of appointments to a point where I have to end up like not being able to go to them because I'm just
Right.
like hell bent on trying to see as many friends as I possibly can because God knows if I'll be able if I'll be able to see them later on in the year, especially
Right. I understand.
yeah. I mean, especially if it's my only con for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a Disney trip to look forward to later in the year.
Oh wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. My best friend and I we're gonna essentially like split the cost and like we're doing Disney in October. We
That
are
sounds amazing.
we are very excited. I haven't been in nearly 10 years, and they haven't been in a much longer time frame.
Oh yeah.
Because I believe I was told that the last time they went it was when they were in high school.
Oh wow.
It's been a long ass time. We're very excited. I go down a whole Disney World rabbit hole, but that's not what this show is about. Um, So what I have written down here is that one of the cosplays that you wore is that you debuted and made Riju from Zelda. Now, was this her Breath of the Wild design or Tears of the Kingdom design?
So this was her Tears of the Kingdom outfit. I did try to make her Breath of the Wild cosplay several years ago. I think for 2019 I wanted to debut her, but um, I had some family circumstances going on at that time, and then stuff just didn't come together beforehand.
Sure.
But I'm also glad I waited because that meant I didn't have to do her insanely long wig for that version. So I was glad when Tears of the Kingdom came out, her hair is significantly shorter, so it was a lot more fun to style that that wig for her cosplay.
Was that the only difference between like both of the games? Like she had a different hairstyle?
I know she grew. It doesn't say how old she is or how. I don't remember if it specifies how much of a time gap there is between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but she did get taller, and then there's some parts of her outfit that are a little different too. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of it stayed the same between both games, but there's some slight differences.
Right. How did wearing that cosplay during the convention feel? Was that a bit? Oh no, that's
give credit to my. Gonna give a lot of credit to my partner for helping be my handler during the convention, and then just encouraging me when I had a lot of some malfunctions with the cosplay just because I had to throw it together so last minute. So some stuff was holding together by hot glue and some Velcro, so some stuff ended up coming apart throughout the con, and we were looking for cosplay repair frantically just for some hot glue sticks, but it worked out for shoots, and then I had to trash some pieces before I left the con.
Oh, geez.
But I do have plans to wear her later in the year, so I want to continue to work on her and improve her.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I believe you also recently posted photos of you did Yor also at Katsucon?
Yes, yep, that was first time debuting her also.
Okay. How did that go?
It was a lot of fun. I actually got to I don't know if I posted pictures on Twitter yet, but I got to debut her with my partner cosplaying as Lloyd. And then it was fun. It was pretty comfortable considering how her outfit is constructed, but it was a lot of fun to wear. Some minor things I want to do before I wear her again, but I would say that's leaning towards one of the more comfortable cosplays I've worn, minus having to wear heels for it.
Right. Oh, I think it. Wait. Oh no. Oh no.
We got a bot in the chat.
There is a bot in chat. I'm trying to like. How do I? Oh god. I'll just ignore it. But I think your partner may be in the chat.
There he is.
He is. Okay. Cool. How you doing? Yeah. What else? So you think you're tending to lean more towards more comfortable cosplays?
So it's hard to say, because if you know me in real life, I prioritize comfort over anything else, but I feel like just based off the type I have when it comes to choosing who I cosplay, I end up 9 times out of 10 wearing characters that are at least wearing heels, so I'm already like, okay, I know this is not going to be the most comfortable cosplay, but I guess I try to steer toward more comfortable cosplays, but 9 times out of 10 that's not what ends up happening. So
yeah, that's the truth.
That's labor of love for characters I love, so I don't mind suffering for a few hours.
Oh, yeah. I get that completely. No, there were some former cosplays of mine that were just not incredibly comfortable to wear.
Mm.
I remember I did an armored Nightwing from his Injustice appearance,
Oh,
but
nice.
that was like hastily put together. Like all the armor pieces were like held down against like cloth pieces, like clothes
Oh, yep, I
with like
understand.
Velcro made out of Warbler and all that fun stuff.
Oh man.
I did a Gajinka of Wolf with his Smash Brothers appearance from Star Fox,
Oh yeah.
and that was I don't know how it must have not been hot the convention I wore it at, because I was like wearing like what almost felt like a puffer jacket vest, but then a
Mm-hmm.
giant armor piece on top of it, based on how it was designed when I got it commissioned.
Mm.
And then I did an Aquaman cosplay, but that involved a very similar armor piece setup on top of like one of those like one piece Zentai suits that had a zipper in the back.
Oh, I forgot about Zentai suits.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh man.
going to the bathroom was not fun
Oh man, I
when
can
I had to
very
get,
understand.
yeah. Um yeah, no, I very much, I think when I started to tone, I guess not tone down, because I think some of the armor and bigger builds were some of my last cosplays I've ever made, but like characters like I did Prompto from FF15, I did Riku from Kingdom Hearts, and then a steampunk version of Nightwing. Those were very comfortable, not a lot of armor
Mm-hmm.
involved. So, yeah, definitely can understand prioritizing comfy cosplays. Uh, I mean, especially when you're wearing them for like hours on end.
It's a lot, and then it's like I'm not I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Not in college anymore. I'm like I don't know where I got the energy to do all those costume changes throughout the day too. So I'm like I'm already tired from wearing one cosplay throughout the day. So switching between two was already a challenge, but
Yeah.
it's a
Oh,
labor of love, I guess.
oh god, now you got me thinking, how the hell am I gonna live through PAX East?
Oh, no.
I swear, it's like the second I turned 30, something clicked, and it's like, now I'm more tired than ever.
I understand.
Like, what the My knees don't hurt yet. Although I think me working out has been helping with that.
Like my friend mentioned something about getting wig headaches, and we were both like, yeah, we never used to get that, but back when we went to cons like 5 years ago, now it's like within 10 minutes of me putting my wig on, I already get a headache. I'm like,
Yep. Wig headaches are a thing. They're not fun.
yep.
What would you say? I know you said you're gonna like sort of like rework your Riju cosplay. But what would you say was the favorite part of the outfit to work on, and then I'd counter that with the most challenging slash frustrating piece of it.
Sure. So I knew right away when I was working on her, I really wanted to start with the wig first, which may or may not have been the best course of action, but I guess that was the part I was most excited for, just because I hadn't still a wig in a long time, and B, I kind of had an idea of how I wanted to tackle that, so that was fun, just getting to take my time with that. And then in contrast, the hardest part I think would have been either her swords, the scimitars, or her top, believe it or not, just because I crunched that the night before, so that was fun.
Oh wow!
I ended up having to pattern the whole thing on myself. So I essentially was cutting the fabric while I had it on top of me to see if I could maneuver getting the fabric to attach to the foam, which PewDiePie Sensei actually has a good tutorial for attaching foam to fabric, which in retrospect I'm like, oh, that's genius. I will keep that in mind. So I guess you can take maybe like 2mm thickness foam, and then you're just gonna sew that onto the fabric that you're using, and then you can use contact cement to attach thicker foam onto that so it adheres better.
Right.
So I learned a lot of lessons. I ended up burning myself many times with hot glue the night before, but and then the scimitars too, it was me trying to get back into not having done cosplay for X amount of years, so it was a little bit of a learning curve just doing foam smithing again, but
yeah,
I still had fun with it. Those were one of the things I ended up trashing at the con, unfortunately, so I do want to redo her swords at some point.
Okay. Let me see here. You've done... I may have just been counting wrong, but I feel like you've done several Persona 5 cosplays?
Yes, yep.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. Okay, you did several. Okay. They were...
one of my comfort series.
They were, if I'm remembering correctly, Shadow Sai and Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and then I did Kasumi from Persona 5 Royal. I think I did that 2 years ago.
Oh, and Kasumi, that's right.
I haven't debuted her at a convention yet, though. That was just for a location shoot.
Okay. Do you have like a person, or any of those like your personal favorite character from the game, or?
At the time, Makoto was my favorite. I think I can still call her my favorite. I haven't played, or I haven't gotten very far in Royal, so I'm not sure if that's gonna change. But I would say her, A, for her character, but B, when I was cosplaying her, I ended up meeting a lot of my friends for the first time as I was cosplaying her, so I just have a lot of memories attached to that cosplay.
Sure.
And then I think Sai is my favorite to wear, minus having to get into her. It's funny because she's tied for my favorite cosplay, but she's probably the most uncomfortable to wear.
Oh god. Oh no.
But I don't know, Persona holds a special place in my heart just because I have so many friendships attached to it.
Yeah.
Then I still have so many more Persona cosplays I'd like to do. I'd love to do some P3. I still haven't technically played the game yet, so we'll see who I end up choosing, but I have an idea of who I might want to do after I finish the game.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing Persona 3 at some point.
Yeah.
7 Rebirth had my full attention.
I understand completely. I still have to finish Remake.
Oh god, yeah, it's. I think I just got out of doing the demo portion of the game again. I could have skipped it, but I was like, nah, I want to look around more, and now I'm just like, okay, here we go. Into the open world.
Yeah.
Just try not to get accidentally spoiled. I haven't yet.
I know. I'm gonna have to avoid Twitter, but like the plague. I feel like Instagram hasn't been too bad so far. I think
no, Instagram's not that bad. No,
yeah,
it's Twitter or some gaming websites.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to fucking God, I'm scrolling through Kotaku, and one of the articles was like Aerith's fate in Rebirth explained. It's like,
oh no,
the game came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Why would you post that now?
Oh no.
Who cleared the game aside from reviewers? Like, jeez, I just backed away and no, I don't want to know.
It's been the same for me with Jujutsu Kaisen, because I haven't been reading the manga just because my partner and I are watching the anime and I don't want to get further than where we are, so it's just been a challenge. avoiding spoilers on Twitter, and then a lot of people I follow also cosplay from the series, so it's almost impossible at this point to avoid spoilers. So I try to limit my time on those sites as much as I can these days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I hear my cat going crazy.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, she seems fine. If you... Tifa, come on.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah, that's her name.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've told her story like a bajillion times on this podcast, so maybe shortly afterwards I'll tell you the whole story. I'll give you the truncated version. Ugh. So you said you did Katsucon, and then it sounded like you said you had, aside from potentially one day at PAX East, you had one more convention set for this year?
Yeah, so my friends and I are planning to go to Con East in September. So my friend was able to snag a room, so we're trying to secure or figure out cost plans for September. That I'm also counting that my birthday con, so that'll be a lost hurrah before
birthday con fun times.
Yeah. But it'll be fun. I'm just trying to plan ahead of time, and so I don't have to crunch nearly as much as I did for Katsucon. But at least that one will be a lot more comfortable cosplays and more. It's a lot more chill convention, so I'm looking forward to that.
I would hope so. Unless you're planning to do some weird, odd armor version bikinis of characters and just make it why. But have you?
I think the only. Oops, I'm sorry.
Have you been to Katsucon before?
I went once in 2019. That was shortly after I had some stuff going on with my family, so that actually was my last con before my 5-year hiatus. But I love that con a lot. It's very relaxing. It's a really nice location for photos too, but I didn't really prioritize shoots at the time. I think I did maybe one shoot at the con, but it was more so just relaxing and hanging out with friends. So
yeah,
definitely much needed vacation time.
I hear you. Yeah, I think I just got recently, like both of my planned vacations for PAX East and Disney World were approved, so I'm just like, oh good, now I don't have to worry about it. I just gotta make sure I take care of a couple of things beforehand so that work doesn't go crazy while I'm out.
Oh,
so let me see. Katsucon. So you did. It was the East version that you did before, right? Or did you do the? It was.
Yes, it was for East. I'd love to do Prime one day, but that's in Ohio, right? I don't think that's feasible for me right now.
Yeah, no, that's too far.
Yeah. But yeah, Katsucon East was I didn't feel like small, but it was like I felt comfortable. I didn't feel overwhelmed, so I definitely would recommend if people are local or if it's not too out of the way for them to travel to.
Yeah. What's the furthest you've ever had to travel for a con?
Actually don't know how far it is. Let me see. It's between Con East and Katsucon. So I had to take. Well, we took the train for. I'm gonna say maybe. I'm just trying to see. I want to say Katsucon. I feel like the distance is probably similar time-wise at least, but I think not Colossal. Katsucon is probably the farthest I've traveled, so I've had to take the Amtrak there and back. So
I essentially did the same thing. From the Rhode Island area, I think it was like an evening overnight train ride, all the way down to Virginia.
Oh wow.
Which was not. I mean, where it was not that far from the National Harbor.
Oh, I think we were talking about that when we were booking our train tickets because I think they did away with the overnight tickets because that's what we were planning to do, and then they didn't have any available when we were booking.
Yeah, sleeping on a train is definitely interesting.
Yeah. That we took an Acela going to Katsu, and the air was just super dry. We were all complaining about her mouths feeling dry, and my poor friend was having a nosebleed because the air was so dry the whole time there. But then on the way back, it wasn't as bad.
Oh boy.
It was definitely an experience.
Yeah, I think to get to PAX East, I think it's like an hour-ish train ride from where I am. So.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too terrible. I gotta just try to. I think like in a couple weeks, I gotta actually buy the train ticket.
Oh yeah.
Cause then I gotta get there. Try to get there super early to take advantage of the media hour that PAX,
that's fair.
That PAX does on the first day, and only the first day, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. They should do it on all the days, or at least a couple more than one. But yeah. No, I'm very looking forward to that. Like, I'm just like, oh, I need it.
Yeah, I'm like heavily contemplating. I probably will only be able to do one day, but the last time I went, I think that was also 2019, but I was tabling for my school at the time, so I didn't really get to enjoy the con, but
Oh.
It's a good con.
Oh, I think I was in there 2019, so
Oh nice.
odds are I might have saw you, but I just didn't care because I don't really stop by the school booth. Because I'm already graduated.
Understandable.
What is my cat doing? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, okay, so then, is there any dream convention that you'd love to go to as sort of like a, well, I guess it is like a bucket list convention that you'd like to go to before you end up dying?
There's a couple. I definitely want to, even though it's not the same venue, I definitely want to prioritize MagFest just because I keep hearing good things. That might mean I might sacrifice not going to Katsu a year, but I don't know. I'm just banking on MagFest. We'll see if we can secure rooms. But
Right.
Otakon I've heard mixed things about, but be fun to try out a new con in another location, and then that's more local to my partner also, so it'd be a fun convention to try and attend at some point. I don't know if it's a dream con of mine, but I know a lot of my friends down south also go to MomoCon. I'm not sure if you've been, but I've heard that one's pretty fun too.
I've heard of it. I've never been.
Yeah, that one, I think that one's in Georgia.
Okay, yeah. Literally, like, the only cons I've been to are PAX East, Katsucon. Every now and again I'll do Rhode Island Comic Con because that's literally right where I am.
Yeah, I still have yet to go to a Comic Con.
I've been to Boston Comic Con, now Boston Fan Expo, or Fan Expo Boston. And then Hartford had a Comic Con once, I think several years ago. But I don't think they've ever had one ever since. And then I did New York Comic Con for several years. So.
That's lots of.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that for a while, and then I was actually contemplating doing Anime New York City this year, but I think it sold out after they opened tickets twice, and it's already sold out again.
Oh
So
no.
maybe another year. Oh, I forgot. Katsu's not the farthest I've traveled for Con. It was Otaku-thon because that was in Montreal. I forgot we went there.
Montreal, Jesus, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't remember what persuaded us to go that year, but it was a fun change of scenery. It's pretty expensive though, so I probably won't do it again anytime soon. But it's a really beautiful location.
Oh my god.
There's lots of stuff off-site too that are really nice for photos.
Yeah.
It was sweltering hot when we went though, so.
Oh no. Oh no.
I think it's in the middle of August, I want to say.
Oh yeah, that would do it. Yeah, middle of August is always just weirdly hot.
It is. I'm surprised they're putting, because I know they switched Anime New York City from November until I think it's August this year now, so that's probably why it sold out so fast.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done Anime Boston, which is...
Really?
Well, truthfully so, because that's more of a me thing. Like, I'm not... Out of, like, all the like, main, like, nerd geek, like, sections, anime is the least interesting to me, in my opinion. Like, I'm more into gaming and comic books, so a lot of the anime conventions are just not my thing.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because I feel like I'm kind of steering toward that direction too. Like I still like watching anime here and there, but I had this conversation with my partner too. It's like, for whatever reason now, if I'm consuming media these days, I'd rather just play a game than try to start a new anime. I'm not sure why that logic makes sense to me, but
no, I weirdly get you. It's like, here I am, like, I will binge watch, like, YouTube playlists of, like, Game Grumps playthroughs, like...
I'm the same way.
Like, I will binge watch their Super Mario Sunshine playthrough 2 or 3 times a year. No problem. You trying to get me to sit down and watch an anime? No.
It's a lot.
No, it's not. Like, I fell off of My Hero Academia, and then, like...
Same.
My friend wants to get me into Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, that one I recommend, but...
Because they love it a lot. They keep telling me they'll give me their Crunchyroll password or whatever the hell. I just remember some series. Well, I mean, I just remember, and this is probably a bizarre pick, but this was solely going off of this game I played, which I enjoy, even though I suck at fighting games so much. But I played this game called Tatsunoko vs. Capcom for the Wii.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some of the characters on the Tatsunoko side just interested me a lot based on their looks. Mm-hmm. So I ended up watching the entirety of the Tekkaman Blade series, which apparently debuted in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
I binged that all on YouTube in one summer.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't that many episodes, though, so it was fine. I binge-watched Avatar maybe a few years ago.
So good. I don't know why that wasn't a series I grew up with, but when I finally picked it up, I think my junior or senior year of college, I finally picked it up, and that's probably to this day still my favorite animated series, but...
Yeah.
So good.
I remember, I think I binge-watched, when I still had access to Netflix, I watched the entirety of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like you, like, I mean, I grew up with watching the cartoon, but I wasn't, like, religiously obsessed with it.
Right.
Like, I didn't watch Batman animated series yet. I understand how influential and popular that cartoon is. I hated Batman Beyond. I thought it was so weird, yet yeah, Return of the Joker is such a good movie. Yeah, like and I love picking up and reading comics, like so much.
They're so good.
Even though like I just read one series, and it helps in saving money. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Something I still want to get back into. Just reading more comic series. We actually still have, my dad had a I think it's mostly Marvel comics. I need to go through and see what we still have here, because it's quite a bit, and they're not getting read. So maybe that's something I should pick up soon.
Yeah, I mean, all I read is Nightwing because he's my favorite character of all time. So, but then that also gives me an excuse so that like it's the only series I follow. Therefore, at more than like 90% of the time, I'm only picking up one issue. But if my shop gets lucky and gets like a rare like variant, I'll go for the variant if the cover is cool enough.
There you go.
Like I did that with when I picked up February's issue. They got the 1 in 25 variant for some odd reason, and
Oh, nice.
no, yeah, I really loved the cover. Only $15.
Oh, wow.
No, the only time I went super crazy for comics was wanting to get several variants for his 100th issue, which was last year, and it also happened to be in January, which was my birthday month. So I was like, okay, birthday treat, let's go. I actually went to my shop and like asked them, like, could you like sort of like put in a request or try to get like these certain variants? And they did. And the fact that when I went to go pick up the issue, the guy came back with a pile of the same issue with different covers, and he managed to get like one of the variants I requested, and arguably was the one that I wanted the most, which I believe was I think it was the 1 in 50 variant. That I have it framed and like on display in my little entertainment center. But then he also got, and like that was, I believe, $30-ish.
Oh, wow.
But no, then it gets crazier, because then he somehow got, and I didn't get it, someone else ended up getting it down the line. But I guess there was a variant of, where it was like a black and white cover of, like Nightwing's like old logo from like the 90s or whatever. And his like old like appearance, like very like almost like his disco uniform. But then they had like the same cover, but it was all colored in, and it was also holographic.
Ooh.
And but here's the thing, that was the rarest variant. If I'm remembering right, it was $150, and I was like,
oh, wow, I believe it.
No, I mean, I'm shocked that you got the rarest one, but I am not willing to put down that much money.
Yeah, that's a lot. I understand.
And yet, then again, I ended up apologize to listeners because you've probably heard the story before. But I went to Fan Expo Boston last year with my same friend that I'm going to Disney World with, and one of the things that I told myself, because cons are usually an excuse to go a little bit shopping spree crazy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get, any odd or cool, interesting old issues of Nightwing, like variants, like different variant covers. So I go up to the first guy, and I ask him, do you have any Nightwing comics? And he pulls out an issue that ended up being, essentially for me, the, like, my holy grail comic.
Ooh.
It was, actually, if I'm looking at it right now, because that's also framed, It is like Tales of the Teen Titans.
Oh,
It
okay.
was like part 3 of like the Judas Contract storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But that issue was the very first appearance of Dick Grayson taking on the Nightwing mantle.
Oh, okay.
He had 2 versions of the comic. One of them was signed
Oh, man.
by his co-creator.
Oh, man.
He's still alive. I found that out recently. I thought they were both dead. Like both him and
Wow.
the price difference was only like $50.
Really? Wow.
So that comic that I have now, it was like $175, and I was
Mhm.
like, when the hell am I gonna see this again? So I was just like, screw it. So now I have it signed. I had a friend when I showed it to him, and he was like, nope, yep, that's a legit signature. You got lucky on that.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, ugh. Yeah, that's my small comic book tangent rant.
I love it.
Let me see. I had something that I thought of while we were talking. So I guess sort of on the similar vein of like, dream conventions, is there a character that you'd love to cosplay someday, or have you already done it? Like your dream cosplay, so to speak?
So I have a couple, I feel like. I'm not that I'm not as passionate about them, but I feel like I'm not super active in that fandom anymore. But one I really wanted to do is Jean Alter from Fate Grand Order. Her I forgot the name of the format is. Give me 1 second. Shelter. But essentially, what is her? One of her bigger cosplays, which involves a lot of armor pieces, has
Oh boy.
that's
Okay.
been a dream build of mine for a while. But I, of course, want to torture myself and want to make it myself, even though the cosplays now exist. They're a little bit more accessible than when I first wanted to do her. I don't know if there were any available.
Right.
And then I want to do. I just started Nier Automata a couple weeks ago. I want to do. I'm not sure if you how familiar you are with the series, but I want to do the Commander for at least MagFest next year. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
And then one I didn't get to debut at Katsu was Zelda, her Zonai dress. So I'm currently working on that right now, so it'll be a really fun one to do.
Oh, that's such a good design dress. Oh yeah.
I was like, if I'm gonna crunch one cost for Katsu, it'll be Riju, because doing both of them at the same time was gonna be a nightmare. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll take my time with Zelda.
Oh boy.
Because that requires a lot more sewing, so I'd rather take my time with that one.
Right. Yeah, I played Nier Automata, but I didn't beat it because I couldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of endings too.
Yeah, I don't like if that game required you to play it multiple times to get different endings. I was like, no, thank you, no. Very, very few games I'll like play through again and clear it. I think Wind Waker I've cleared a couple of times. Oh god, yeah, no, this coffee is not taking any effect. Wow.
Oh no.
No, that's just because I'm desensitized from caffeine now because I drink it too much.
Oh no. I understand completely.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time I've played through a game multiple times. I feel like the only one I've done that with recently actually I can't say I've done that in the past couple of years. I feel like the only one I've really repeated is any of the Pokemon games, really, but
oh sure.
it just takes a lot of effort for me to finish a game these days, so I still have an insanely long backlog of stuff I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've done Final Fantasy X a couple of times. I did Original 7 a couple of times. I think those are the only ones I can think of. I'm very, very much looking forward to Thousand Year Doors upgrade on the Switch when that comes out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, that looks so good.
Oh man,
I tried to replay it back on the GameCube, and I just couldn't get into it, or like just did not have the attention span for like I used to.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't. Look, I think I replayed Persona 5, but that's because I like sped through the conversation, and
That's
then
right.
like it was like, well, then it was like New Game Plus, so like I kept all the equipment, all the end level equipment. And then when I got enough money, I was summoning all the old high level Persona that I got.
Oh yeah.
And then it just made the game a cakewalk. It was hilarious.
I can't remember if I started New Game Plus or not. It's been so long. Cause I still haven't even really touched Royal, which I still need to get through.
Yeah.
So I'm barely past. I think I'm still in Kamoshida's palace, so I need to.
What?
Yeah, I haven't touched it. I'm just like.
Well, did you beat the original?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well,
the original.
All right.
Just need to make time to get through Royal, but
Yeah, you got a long way to go.
I still haven't even beaten Tears of the Kingdom, believe it or not. Like I've gotten through most of the story. I just have to finish like the last main part. But I'm like, yay, side quests.
I gotta be honest with you. Tears of the Kingdom did not hit it hard as Breath of the Wild did for me.
Really?
Like especially the final boss fight where it was epic, but like there were certain like I mean, it very much involved the gloom mechanic, and like I didn't realize, like I was not prepared fully in like having food that could restore your like gloom down heart.
Yeah.
So I just brute forced the last boss fight, and I did not have a good time. I did not.
Oh god. And the first time I saw Gloom Hands, oh my god.
Oh, I
just straight didn't want to touch the game for like a week. I was like, okay, nope.
No. Gloom Hand can burn hell. No, it just...
Oh man.
Oh god. Okay, so then one thing I did want to ask is, for you looking forward, I know like you got potentially one more con planned for this year. But when it comes to like creating or making new cosplays, is there a particular goal or like skill set in cosplay making that you'd like to either fully learn or like improve upon this year?
So one thing I do really want to work on is my sewing skills, like just because I haven't constructed too many where I've had to sew majority of the cosplay. It's either I've either had to, so I have quite a bit of pre-bought cosplays, and I have no issue against pre-bought cosplays. It ends up being cheaper more often than not than having to go and build your own. But I'd love to improve my sewing skills for cosplay, and then just in general because I enjoy fashion and making things. And then I think foam smithing is the other big thing, just because there's a lot of armor builds I'd like to do. So I think just getting more comfortable working with that medium will be fun.
Sure.
The other obstacle is because I'm in an apartment, I don't have a ton of crafting space, so just trying to work with the space and what I have has been a little tricky, but
I get that 100%.
Yeah. Those are the main skills I would say. And then maybe wig work. I actually was surprised at how well I was able to execute Riju's wig, so that was probably the biggest wig build I've done to date. But yeah, just a mix of things. Just getting back into cosplay after my hiatus has been fun, and just challenging myself there. So I feel like I haven't really been making creative hobbies a priority in the past couple of years, so it just feels nice and refreshing jumping back into everything.
Yeah, no, trust me, it happens. Like, I mean, to kind of relate for me right now, like I've essentially stopped streaming aside from doing this now. Like, I only really just want to focus on streaming new podcast episode recording because I have a very hard time talking to dead air.
I understand.
When I don't have like anyone like in my chat to talk to,
Mm.
and it kind of just frustrated me, and it almost, or not almost, it essentially was like making playing video games not fun at all.
That's kind of something I'm trying to work through also as a new streamer too. Just kind of just not ignoring the viewer count, because I want to be able to engage with people if they're in the chat, but like just trying to get over that and trying to act normal, I guess, when I'm streaming to people. But I know it's an obstacle I still have yet to overcome myself, but
yeah,
it's a lot.
I mean, I try my best to just hide the viewer count so I don't look at it also. I mean, I don't really have a choice when I stream directly from my PS5 if I'm doing a PS5 game, but no, I like I want to fully experience like 7 Rebirth on my own time, but not take too long to a point where I end up getting spoiled accidentally.
Right.
So like it's just trying to manage that with my IRL job. It's like, oh boy, like
I completely understand.
I've got some plans this weekend, but like other than that, once those are done, I'm just like I'm gonna try to cram in as much game time as I possibly can.
I understand.
Without draining myself out, because I really want to like. Because now like I'm at a point where like, I mean I'm still like very early in the game, but it's like outside of like the demos and like what I've seen in trailers, it's like I'm gonna be seeing new shit nonstop, back to back, and I'm like it just dawned on me like as I was playing like earlier, like before we went live, I was playing a little bit more, like just getting past through the demo area, and then like the first place you're in, and it just hit me like, oh shit, we're gonna see Vincent and Sid in this game.
Oh yeah.
But when I don't know, and I can't fucking wait. So yeah,
I've been like similar feelings with remake, since it's technically my first Final Fantasy game. I been having mixed feelings on deciding if I want to stream that again, just because it's a lot of information for me to take in, and then on top of trying to stream that at the same time. So like maybe I might just spend time just playing that on my own, and then if I decide to stream that again, maybe that'll happen sometime down the line. But I think it's just something I just want to take my time and enjoy without stressing about trying to be entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, no, I remember I stopped streaming when I picked up and played Persona 4 Golden when that got released to the Switch. Not gonna lie, the Persona games are awful to stream because it's it's like 90% talking.
That's fair. Oh my god.
Like, I try to do voices, but like my voice
I do not have the energy to narrate.
So like at some point I just stopped streaming it and just finished the game on my own, because it's just like this is way too much. This is way too much talking.
It is.
It's like freaking Fall Guys or like Smash Bros. Are like the only good streamable game because it's not that intensive. Well, I mean it can be, but it's like I don't know.
Yeah, not narrative heavy.
Not narrative heavy, exactly. Exactly. is there anything else that you would like to talk about or mention?
I guess a question for you, like, do you have any things you're excited about in terms of cosplay, or like any dream cons you'd like to attend to? I know we kind of talked about this a little earlier, but
Yeah. So I don't really cosplay anymore because of money and time.
I understand completely.
And like, truthfully, like, I've gotten to have so much more fun, like, just being very fortunate and lucky to be in a position where I can go to cons as a member of the media, even though it's only been PAX East. The last couple of times I went, not counting the virtual ones when COVID was happening. Yeah, I mean, there are like my like mainstay cosplayers that I adore and following. I think like whenever Jessica Negri goes on an armor building binge, and I'm just like in awe of what she's able to crank out in her insanely short time frames.
It's nuts. I actually saw her at Katsu. I don't think she was in cosplay at the time, but I was too shy to go and say hi. Like, I just genuinely couldn't think of anything to talk about. But it was cool because she's been at cons that I've been to before. But that was the first time I actually physically saw her in person. But she seems like a sweetheart.
She is. She very much is. Like, the last time I saw her was. It had to have been 2019, I think. Maybe? Or was it... Oh, God. I wonder if it was 2017.
I was genuinely surprised that...
It might have been. No, because that was the... That was the year my dad passed away. And that was legit the last con that we went to together. Because we had gotten to like know Jessica a lot, like through past cons, going to New York Comic Con, and like my dad got into cosplay and he cosplayed for a little bit. So, yeah, it might have been 2017, unless I'm misremembering something.
Yeah, it's also a similar reason to why I took a hiatus from cons, but.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my partner, he tried to get me to talk to Negri, but I generally couldn't think of a conversation point to start other than like, oh, hi, I'm a big fan of yours, but she's a sweetheart.
Yeah. No, trust me, she is. She very much is. Yeah, so dream convention for me.
I feel like there's always like new conventions popping up too, so I'm always just like, there's always going to be at least one convention I've never heard of. Be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, MagFest, I'd love to go to at least once. Because I've heard nothing but good things about it. If I ever had an opportunity to go to a convention on the West Coast, I would love to do San Diego at least once.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
let me go to the OG Comic-Con and see how it all... Let me see the eruption that is San Diego, even though, unless that's changed from what I remember hearing, New York has surpassed San Diego in attendance.
Oh, really? Wow.
So... But I think the memories that I've had of past PAX East conventions, and like especially like that was the con where I got my first ever like media pass to go like representing my podcast. That's my all-time favorite. and I really have taken a liking to Boston as a city, and
Yeah.
just walking around it, and then like I managed to book the same hotel that I went to not last year but the year before, and it's gonna be so great because
Oh yeah.
well no because the hotel that I booked that I stayed at 2 years ago is literally right across the street from the convention hall.
Oh, perfect. There you go.
Unlike last year, where last year it was like a 30-minute walk.
Oh yeah, it's not. And it's like, is it worth Ubering at that point?
No, oh my god, my feet
No.
were killing me. My feet were dead.
Oh man. Was it T accessible, or did you have to walk the whole way over?
I mean, I think there were shuttles, but I just wanted to walk. I think
Oh yeah.
I would stop at like a breakfast cafe on the way there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, me.
And hang out for like a few hours before it got closer to the expo hall opening. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to walk like less than 100 feet to this convention center again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that with Katsu. So we were fortunate enough to get Gaylord rooms this year, but we didn't end up going last year because we couldn't secure rooms. But I know there's one down the street. I don't remember which hotel it is. I think it's a Wyndham.
Wyndham. I've stayed at that twice.
But I did hear, I think it was I forget if it was that one or a different hotel, but I did hear a lot of people got their bookings canceled because they couldn't accommodate them because I guess they were doing renovations or something. Which
yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
Oh, jeez.
So like, at least, I guess I would be willing to work around it if we couldn't, because I've gone to Katsu before and then stayed at another hotel outside of the Gaylord. Granted, it was only for I think the last day we were there, but it's doable. I just feel like if you're doing multiple costume changes, that's when it gets a little tricky. But
yeah,
if I'm traveling that far, I'm like willing to make sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be it. I mean, like, if I... Do I... No, I think I do still stand by this. Like, if I had, like, a giant amount of money to burn in, like, a good amount of time, I honestly... I figured at first I would like, oh, I'll make this, but like, no, maybe I'll just commission it.
Right.
I would love to commission a full suit of Final Fantasy XIV Dragoon armor. Because it looks so badass. And I love playing as a Dragoon in the time that I spent playing FF14. Before I stopped.
Oh, yeah.
Their armor looks so cool.
It does.
And I'm so big into dragons, so it's like, oh yeah, let me get a full suit of that, please. Thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, it was just really inspiring just seeing all the armor builds at Katsu. I'm like, okay, this is when I want to dedicate my time to learning, but also why do I like pain and suffering?
Right.
Yeah. It was nice seeing armor builds come together, so I'm really curious if you end up doing that. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's an interesting... That's a question I just thought of now while you just said that. Oh, were there any standout cosplay that you saw while you were at Katsu?
Ooh, I gotta think about that. I got to meet one cosplayer that I actually admire. Her handle is L True Cosplay. She actually was doing Riju this past Katsu, so it was nice getting to see how she constructed it.
Sure.
And then she posted tutorials on how she kind of went about her build too, and then There are a lot of Zelda cosplayers at PAX this year, so it's just nice seeing everyone's different artistic how they approached every cosplay they did. So that was really nice. And then I'm trying to think if there were any other ones that stood out to me. There were a lot of good Monster Hunter builds too. I'm not too familiar with that series, but just
Interesting.
seeing how much work went into all those builds, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I want to have that level of patience for cosplay builds, but I end up rushing through a lot of my stuff, so that's one thing I want to try to work on this year, is not rushing through everything.
Yeah, I think I've seen... No, I think I've seen several Zelda cosplays from Katsu photos. I know that. Baldur's Gate was popular.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, those seem to be what the main hotness at the moment. Although I think, wow, FF7 Rebirth might take out some of that. I mean, if anything, if I'd be willing to put money down that there's gonna be some Bikini 7 Rebirth cosplay at Colossal Connie's. I am willing to put money down.
Myself included. Fell victim to that, so it's gonna be one of the big ones I do.
Oh man.
I'm very interesting.
Well, now you got me wondering, like, is there gonna be a trend? Like, I'm fully expecting, you know, like you said, there's probably gonna be some Tears of the Kingdom, Zeldas, potentially Baldur's Gate 3. I think especially due to the case that Larian Studios is going to be having a booth at the convention.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, my friend's stoked for that.
So there is a definitive there's like it's happening. So I'm just like gonna be like in awe of like maybe fangirling over Shadowheart cosplayer, because Shadowheart was she was my main romance when I played Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, that was a time playing that, or trying to, because I've never done Dungeons and Dragons before, so I had to get used to that, and I was just like, I couldn't play it the way I normally play video games, which was definitely a struggle at some point.
I'm still pretty new to D&D as well. I think I've done a one shot, and then my friends and I try to do a group virtually, but some of our members kind of fell off, so that we never saw that all the way through. But
oh jeez. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what other cosplays I'm willing to. I mean, maybe Pokemon. I feel like there's always Pokemon at PAX East.
That's true.
Elden Ring. I'm willing to put.
Oh yeah.
Elden Ring, possibly. I think that's all the main gaming stuff that I could think of that are probably going to be popular at PAX this year.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I can't think of anything else that...
Maybe Persona 3?
Maybe. Oh yeah, that could be another one too. Or maybe...
That's not that hard to do if they're all wearing their school uniforms.
That's right.
It's very comfortable. Oh, I would not be...
Oh, maybe Guilty Gear?
Maybe. I was gonna say... I'm gonna laugh if I see a couple of people dressed up as Helldivers from Helldivers 2 and
I wouldn't be surprised.
And start screaming for democracy. I'd be willing to, because that blew up unexpectedly.
It did. I forgot about that.
What's Yakuza or like a dragon? I think I'll probably see some of that.
That's true.
it's like I'm gonna be there all 4 days, so it's like that is some time. But then again, also, and I don't know if you've realized this, because when I've done like episodes based on PAX East to talk about the con, me and whoever I end up having on as a guest, we've all kind of noticed that through the years, recently, cosplay has taken a back seat at this convention.
Really? I guess that makes sense.
It is not as prevalent. Which I imagine maybe it may have to do with that there's not. Well, it's probably because there's not so much room to do photo shoots in.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like it was like that when I went last too. It wasn't weren't too many cosplayers.
Yeah, no, it has died down considerably. Which I guess I can understand, because I think we talked about this before with other people I've had on the show about PAX East.
Yeah.
And like even like they would talk about it like with their photographer friends, how it's very, very low stakes. So
yeah, like I the last time I went, 'cause I shot Sae there 1 year, but then the last time I went as Futaba, and I'm like, I can't imagine trying to navigate that con in like a big build, because I feel like it was fairly well, I haven't been in a couple of years, but it was pretty crowded the last time I went, so I could only imagine trying to navigate the con floor in a big cosplay build.
Oh yeah, no, it can be tricky. I think I've seen that happen several times. Yeah. Do you have any other questions for me?
I think that's it. I just happy we finally got to sit down and talk for a bit. It's been nice to finally talk and catch up.
Yeah, no, this has been great. No, this sounds like a perfect time to wrap up. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad we were able to make tonight work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I guess that'll do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and thank you to everyone that stopped by during the live recording. Taylor, if people want to go follow your work, where do they go?
So you can follow me over on Chamomiletay on Instagram, or chamomile_tay over on Twitter. But yeah, thank you again for having me. I've had a blast just getting to catch up and everything.
Yeah, this was great. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, I guess. I try to be there every now and then. I guess Blue Sky is trying to still be a thing. There's just too many platforms, man.
There are.
Yeah, so then I guess definitely look forward to my eventual PAX East coverage, because I'm very excited for it. And yeah, I guess that'll do it. So stay tuned for the next episode.